Can artificial intelligence actually improve the Toronto Maple Leafs? Let's find out. All right, welcome back. Today, you hear so much about artificial intelligence, or AI for short, online. So many different programs, but I got a little curious and thought that, what if we use ChatGPT and ask it a question about the Toronto Maple Leafs? So I'm going to bring you over. I just logged in to ChatGPT, and we're going to ask it a question. So I just typed in there, what do the Maple Leafs have to do to be more competitive in 2023? Let's give that a send and let's let it do its job. So it starts off as an AI language model. I cannot predict the future, but based on the current state of the Toronto Maple Leafs, there are several steps the team could take to be more competitive in 2023. Look at number one, right off the bat, improve their defensive play. The Maple Leafs have struggled with their defensive play in recent years. That's a mild understatement. Maybe this AI is new and doesn't really, or just trying to be nice, I guess. And this has been a significant factor in the lack of success. They need to focus on improving their team defense, which includes both the defensive structure and the individual performance of their defensemen. That's a big one. The individual performance of their defensemen. I think we already knew that, right? But this just solidifies the fact that the Toronto Maple Leaf defensemen, they got to go back to like, they got to have a little hockey school here and get on the same page and start playing up to their potential. Because you see hints of it in some games when there's a really competitive team, whether they win or lose, the defense aren't too bad. They're out there competing and they're playing hard. Like last year's playoffs when they were playing Tampa. Yeah, they lost, but they had a good defensive side of the game. The defense were showing up and they were pretty good. There was a few lapses, a few blind passes that caused them to lose that game. But let's go on to the next one. Develop their young talent. The Maple Leafs have a number of talented young players, including Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, and Morgan Riley. To be more competitive, they need to continue to develop these players and give them the opportunity to play a bigger role on the team. Well, I think they're already doing that. It's the fact of do they want that bigger role, right? But I don't really agree with this statement here. You know, the AI can be a little bit off, but I already think they're doing that. And Mitch Marner has taken a huge step this year. Add depth in their roster. While the Maple Leafs have some talented players, they need to add more depth in the roster. This includes adding players who can contribute on both ends of the ice, as well as players who can fill in if there are injuries or other issues. So adding depth to the roster. And we just did that not too long ago with Achari and O'Reilly. So let's see how they're going to fit in. It's only been 2 games, and already all the trolls out there are screaming how bad of a deal that was, and they're laughing, and just ignore it. They're going to do that even if they were successful. But we need to add one more piece, I think, on the defensive side, right in the defensive core. And the only way we can do that is to get rid of a few players. Whether it be Kerfoot up front or Hall down in the defensive core, there has to be a change. We need another significant piece that can add, that can really add a physical element. Because when I'm watching the game, there's nothing more frustrating than watching the defense challenge the forwards in the corners, and they have every opportunity to just, finish their hit and go through the player, but they try everything to stop or get out of the way. They got to just finish and go in there and finish the dang hit. So number 4, make strategic roster moves. The Maple Leafs need to make strategic moves to improve their roster. This can include trades, signings, or other roster moves that can help address the team's weakness and improve their overall competitiveness. And I think they've already addressed that in a big way with O'Reilly and Achari. Because when it comes down to it, and these guys are getting more games in, more reps with the team and learning the players, I think they're just going to drag them right into the fight when it all comes down to it. And that's part of their style. That's part of O'Reilly's play. Look when he went to the Blues and basically just, dragged them all into the fight, and they won the Stanley Cup, and he won MVP. So that really says a lot about O'Reilly's character, his demeanor, and the way he plays the game. So there's a lot of people saying, well, he's past his prime. He's getting too old. But hold on a second here. He never was a really fast skater, but he's a smart player. I don't care how old of a player you are. You're still understand the game. You're still be able to read the game. So along with all of that, along with the pedigree that he brings, I think this is a big upside for the Leafs in strategic roster moves. If they made just one more move on the defense, I think they would really have a legitimate shot at going all the way. It would just, they do now, but it would just make it would just solidify it that much more, don't you think? Improve their mental toughness. Well, shoot, that should have been number 1. All the years of them struggling. Okay, so the Maple Leafs has struggled with their mental toughness in the past, particularly in big games and playoff situations. Well, that's an understatement. Game 7s, it's right at the top of my head. Game 7s they're notorious for getting to them mentally. So improve their mental toughness, and I think O'Reilly is going to help them do that. And same with Achari. They need to work on their mental toughness and develop the ability to handle pressure and adversity, which is essential for any team that wants to be competitive at the highest level. Absolutely. So when they get into the game 7s, and even if they get ahead, or what I see is the mental side comes back, and it kills them. They play not to lose instead of playing to win, instead of putting it all on the line and going all out. They start making mental errors, silly mistakes, ridiculous choices. Like, look at all the turnovers that were happening that were uncharacteristic of the team to begin with, like passing it and taking a lot of high risk chances. And that's the story of game 7s. Let's try and regenerate the response and see what we're going to get here. Just real quick. It's thinking. It's saying I cannot predict the future again. Yada, yada, yada. It's probably just going to be the same couple of points, maybe in different order. Yeah. So it's just strengthen the roster. We get it. We're already doing that. Like I said before, just to wrap this up, like I said before, Dubas, if he just added one more piece on the defensive core, man, this team would be great once they get working together. We have 25 games right now to be able to just pull it all in and pull it together, get everybody in sync. And I think we can really do some damage in the playoffs. At least get past round one. We almost did it last year, and the puck just didn't go our way. We just didn't have puck luck. It was, between missing the goals by, inches. There's a few chances that we missed by inches. And then that goal that got called back with the pick play that Hall supposedly did, but was totally fine for the rest of the game. But that's for another video. So I want to thank you for joining me. I hope you liked this video, and click like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.